Okay, let's start it. So, thank everybody for attending. We appreciate you coming this afternoon. What we'd like to do is do a presentation about the work of Street Angels. I'm Paul. Alan will give you a brief overview of Blackpool Street Angels. This presentation is about us launching and how we can work in with the community. And we have Paul. Pleased to have Paul with us here from Halifax. Paul actually started up the Street Angels initiative in the first place, and the umbrella organisation, the Christian Nightlife Initiatives. So Paul will talk more about that later on. So first of all, what I'd just like to start with is just, is there a need in Blackpool for such an organisation as Street Angels? And I do believe there is. Street Angels is a nighttime initiative. It's a response to the nighttime economy. As we know, Blackpool has a vibrant nightlife with the pubs and clubs that are in Blackpool, the theatres. Some people say the entertainment capital of the north, the northwest. So Blackpool has a vibrant nightlife. So people want to come to Blackpool. They want to have a good night. They want to enjoy the night. People come from all walks of life. We have a lot of stag and hen doings. We've got big parties of people coming from out of town. We've got holiday makers. The great thing is, I think over the last couple of years particularly, I've noticed that in Blackpool, I think with the new seafront, I think a fantastic job's been done on the seafront, and there's new buildings. There's just something new that's happening that I see. There's been a transformation, and people are coming back into Blackpool. The families are coming back, and at the same time, they want to enjoy the night times out in Blackpool on a Friday night, Saturday evening. So everyone wants to have a safe night, and if we can play our part in just being a part of helping people to have a safe and enjoyable night in Blackpool, then that's what we like to achieve. So we want to work alongside the council, the police, all the emergency services. We want to work alongside the Safe Haven project. I think that's a fantastic project that's progressing. It's great that they've got a bus now out on the town hall doorstep, and the fact that in Talbot Square itself that's all been redeveloped. So there's great area there to actually be able to have a project where alongside the bus there's the police working with the North West Ambulance Service, St John's Ambulance, and so I think there's potential there for a great opportunity to have a hub of where people can actually be cared for, can be directed, can access into the taxi services. Those that are vulnerable and distressed, can all network in with one another. Everybody can have a safe night. And what obviously, from a Safe Haven perspective, speaking to the guys that are running that, the idea is to actually lessen the amount of admissions into A&E, into the hospital. So whatever part we can play in that, we'd like to do that. We'd like to work alongside. We're not going to be insular. We're not going to do our own thing. That's certainly not our intention. Our intention is to work alongside the authorities to be a part of that. Street Angels is a Christian-based initiative. It's non-denominational. But at the same time, Street Angels is not limited. The volunteers are not limited to being only Christians. You don't have to come from a church background. You don't have to be linked into a church. The volunteers can be anybody. There's no discrimination against that. As long as you're over the age of 18 years old, there will be CRB checks. And there will be training. We are linking in with Drugline, the Horizon project for training. So as much training as we can get Other training opportunities, if our volunteers can get
conflict management training, whatever we can tap into, we certainly will do. Like I say, we're not going to be insular, we're not going to keep ourselves to ourselves. We want to be a visible presence out on the streets that's linking in with the authorities. And just hope that people are going to want to work with us at the same time. And so what I'll do now is I'll just hand over to Alan. Alan will give a short talk himself, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, thank you.
Excuse me if I start struggling talking today, because I'm in a little bit of pain with this shoulder, so it's a little bit difficult for me to talk. But as Paul said, basically, Paul did say, is there a need in Blackpool? Now, we're of the understanding that about 18 months to 2 years ago now, that Blackpool commissioned a report to see if Blackpool was ready for going for the purple flag. Now, from what we understand of that report, it said Blackpool was absolutely fantastic, great, superb, wonderful town, but that it could do with the shops being open just that little bit longer, that they could do with more for families between 5 and 8, around about 8-ish, but also will benefit greatly from having a Street Angels or Street Pastors initiative on the streets. And this is where we step in. As Paul said, what we try and do is bridge that vital gap between where the roles and responsibilities of the door staff and venue end and the care duty of the emergency services begin. Like I said, we're not paramedics or anything like that, but there has been occasions where we have had to administer first aid on site and stay with the people till the police or the ambulance have arrived. Obviously, we are now linked in with the Safe Haven, so we are in radio contact with them, so they can get the ambulance guys to come. But basically, we're out there to make sure that everybody has a good night, a safe night, and gets, more to the point, gets home safely. But I'm not sorry to sit down, but what I will do now is look like that, Paul. Is introduce you to now Mr. Paul Blakey MBE, who is the founder and CEO of Street Angels and the CNI, and he will explain a little bit better than probably I just start now. It's basically what we're about. Cheers, Paul.
Good afternoon, it's great to be here. Just over 6.5 years ago we had this crazy idea, and it's kind of caught on, which is always good, isn't it, when crazy ideas caught on. Halifax was known as the Wild West of West Yorkshire. Does that sound like Blackpool? Just a little. You could almost guarantee when the fights would happen. You could almost guarantee that on a typical weekend, Friday, Saturday night, a sexual assault would take place somewhere in the town centre. You could guarantee there'd be underage drinkers. You could guarantee that there'd be lots of people binge drinking, getting drunk very fast. And Halifax really had become a no-go area on a Friday, Saturday night. When we started 6.5 years ago, we could tell who was going to throw which bottle at which person or which gang. We could tell who was going to fight who. We could tell what was going to happen. And the atmosphere was not very nice in Halifax. 6.5 years later, the town centre has totally changed. Violent crime has come down by 57% in Halifax town centre. The venues, which actually all catered for the binge drink culture, have changed. The worst ones have closed down. There's now restaurants open, there's coffee bars open, there's cocktail bars open, the theatre puts on performances, we had the Titanic on the other week, we finished at 2:30 in the morning, with 1,500 people coming out of the theatre, of sort of 60, 70, 80, 90 year olds coming out into the clubland culture. The town is a much, much nicer place. And I believe that's down to the fact that volunteers, people who care about the town, are out on the streets actually doing something about the problems in the town. And Halifax is unrecognisable now. We've had people new volunteers that come and we tell them what used to happen and they can't believe the difference that's happening now in the town centre. So Street Angels works, and I recommend that you go for it in Blackpool. I've been out, we did a trial in Blackpool last year, and actually Blackpool isn't that bad. I'm guessing, like most towns, the perception is worse than the reality. Yeah? The NHS ambulance people, is it a bad place? Yes. You probably saw it.
You got a lucky night.
We got a lucky night. But I believe Blackpool can be different. Blackpool has changed so much over the years, and the whole promenade, and it's reinventing itself. And I think Street Angels will add to that greatly. How many of you read the Sunday Express? Nobody. One. You may have seen the Sunday Express on Sunday, page 26, if I can find it. A big article about an 82-year-old lady who is a street angel in Guildford. Now the impact of this 82-year-old lady, and she's not the oldest street angel by the way, we have a 90-year-old gentleman in Lippen that goes out most Friday and Saturday nights in Lippen. But the impact of this 82-year-old lady who goes to bed at 4 AM and gets up again at 7 AM the following morning, she has more stamina than I do, I can tell you. As had in Guildford is outstanding. It's great that the Sunday Express has written about that. But people who care is having such a calming influence on other people. When people see the grandma out in the street angel jacket, suddenly they don't want to fight anymore because grandma's watching. When they see teams of fluorescent people coming towards them, suddenly there's someone they can go to share the problems with and not get aggravated with the door staff or with somebody else that's passing on the street. You know, street angels do make a massive difference. And can I recommend that if you're thinking about getting involved, get involved. If you're thinking about partnering with them, partner with them. Because I believe Blackpool can be a much different, better place as a result of having people who care, not doing anything in particular, just wandering the streets, caring for people that end up in a little spot of trouble or bother. And the Prime Minister thinks so too. I don't know if you think when he loses his 8-year-old daughter that he's opinion counts much, but we've actually been awarded the Big Society Award, which is what David Cameron gives out to people and groups that he thinks are doing a fantastic job. So the Prime Minister supports the fact that people are committing to making a difference in their towns and cities in the nighttime economy, which is good news, isn't it? Yeah. So the Prime Minister actually says, get on with it, you're doing a great job. And it's great that we can work with the council and the police and the ambulance staff and the hospital staff and everyone else to make our society a nicer place. So go for it. We're going to support you from the National Street Angels CNI network as much as we can. We'll come across, I think we've got a team coming across from Halifax on Saturday night to your first night to experience Elton John. Whether that's something good or not, I don't know. To experience Elton John and a night out in Blackpool in the summer. But we're there for you, we're supporting you, and we're with you 100% in doing it, and it's great that you guys are doing it. We're going to leave it open to questions now, because I'm sure you're all sat there with lots of questions, but we just want to reassure you that yeah. So any questions, and then we'll go and get some cake.